we're one of the few shows that says that's an ugly dress. And that's okay. These ladies make $28 million a picture. You really think that Nicki Minaj cares? I didn't like her dress. You know, when you're in that kind of a bracket, you don't really care.
Yeah, you're not really worried about feelings being hurt.
Well, not when it's about dresses. It's not about them. It's about clothing.
All right, folks, welcome to Give Me Five. Joan Rivers, in a very contentious interview on CNN, it became that way, more so as it went on, and Joan Rivers winds up walking off the set, pulling out her earpiece and leaving because she didn't like the direction the interview was headed. Here she was accused of being mean on the show where she critiques all the folks on the red carpet, the women who wear the gowns and the dresses. Here's more.
Well, what about when it is about something, that really does seem off limits to a lot of people? I mean, even in your book, you kind of joke about the death of Casey Anthony's baby, Princess Diana surviving so many landmines and who she dated. I mean, do you feel like there are boundaries ever, even if it makes people uncomfortable or offend people, or what?
Life is very tough, and if you can make a joke to make something easier and funny, do it. Done. Do it. That's all. Darlene, I don't know what your life has been like, but I have a lot of people who have gone through hell. And if you can Winston Churchill said, if you make someone laugh, you give them a little vacation. And maybe you take the worst thing in the world and make it funny. It's a vacation for a minute from horror.
All right, so it's building. You may not know it's building, but it's building to a crescendo, which will result in Joan Rivers walking off the set. Watch. And
people love to laugh. I mean, clearly that's why people love you. But they also know that you have some shock value to you. I mean, on the cover of your book, you're wearing a fur, and you knew that there would probably be animal rights activists.
This whole interview is becoming a defensive interview.
No!
Are you wearing leather shoes?
Yes.
Shut up.
I'm talking.
You know what I mean? I don't want to hear. You're wearing fur. You're wearing leather shoes.
I'm not an activist,
You're eating chicken.
Yeah.
You're eating meat. I don't want to hear this nonsense. Come to me with a paper belt, and I'll talk to you.
All right. I don't think she'll be wearing a paper belt. At least she admitted she was wearing leather shoes. And here it is. Joan Rivers will pull out the earpiece and walk off the set. Watch.
But you did hear it in some of those press conferences. There were people who were upset, and you're just saying,
no, I'm going. I really am going, because all you have done is negative.
No.
All you have done is negative. I haven't heard negative. I make people laugh for 50 years. I am put on earth to make people laugh. My book is funny. I wear fur that was killed 15 years ago. I work for animal rights. Stop it with, and you do this, and you're mean, and you're that. You are not the one to interview a person who does humor. Sorry.
Are we serious?
All right. Now, when I saw this, I hearkened back to my own experience on Fox and Friends circa 2008. Ed Schultz, liberal talk show host, you may know him. He was on a remote location in Nebraska. I was in studio with Brian and the crew, and I asked a question. Eddie didn't like it. And then Brian followed up. Eddie really didn't like it, and here's what happened.
And I can tell you that we've looked at both plans. We really like the Obama plan. We're going to get some tax credits that we wouldn't get under the McCain.
Do you make more than 250, Ed? Does it make more than 250? Ed, does it make more?
You know, Steve, I didn't interrupt you, Steve.
I'm just asking a pertinent question.
This happens every time I go on the air with you.
Oh,
you always torpedo everybody.
But Ed, just to the point, are they right to attack him? Are they right to attack him? Would he leave?
Wow.
All right, now, I didn't even ask. When he yelled at me, I stopped. It was Brian who followed up and said, were they right to attack him? Were they right to attack him? Ed heard that. I guess he thought it was me. And he pulled out the earpiece and he left. And what ensued was amazement. They said that I asked a legitimate question that added to the conversation, which made me feel good. And then one by one, Brian said, why don't we all storm off the set? So I was next. I stormed off the set. And actually, Brian was the last one left. It was pretty funny. But there's really no reason for that. There was no reason for Joan Rivers to storm off. I mean, she could have handled it a little better. The interview was nearing an end anyway. It had been going on for quite some time. Thought you'd like to see it on the Steve Malzberg Show.